We'll go on. All right, welcome everyone. It is exactly 1:30 p.m. So we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. First off, and again, thank you all for being here and making time. It's been a very busy and just tough time for a lot of folks in Indiana. And obviously, we still have a lot of people down at the emergency operations centers, and they spent their weekend there this past weekend again. So just grateful for all the people that we have out there working, doing the tough work that it takes to recover from what Indiana faces. As we get started here, I'd like to start with introducing our newest member of the board, Jason Fisher. He fills now the spot for emergency medical responders. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Jason Fisher. Like you just said, I'm the emergency management, EMS, and 911 center director for Benton County, Indiana. I've been in emergency services since 1997, and paramedic, firefighter, deputy coroner, a little bit of everything.
Well, welcome, and thanks for being here. I was a little bit of a trip for you, so thank you. So we'll go ahead and start with roll calls, and we'll be, as we have two members that have joined us online, all the votes will also be a roll call vote today.
Julie Smith.
Present.
Eric Boland.
Present.
Jordan Hoffman.
Present.
Doug Hunsinger.
Present.
Brooke Huntington.
Present.
Matt Delphi.
Present.
Ben Hunter.
Present.
Andy Snyder.
Present.
Jason Chunkweiler.
Present.
Jason Fisher.
Present.
Quorum.
All right. So hopefully you all have had a moment to review the April 28th minutes. So we'll go ahead and take a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion?
All those. Julie Smith.
Yes. Approved.
Eric Boland.
Yes.
Jordan Hoffman.
Aye.
Doug Hunsinger.
Aye.
Brooke Huntington.
Aye.
Matt Delphi.
Yes.
Ben Hunter.
Aye.
Andy Snyder.
Aye.
Jason Chunkweiler.
Aye.
Jason Fisher.
Aye.
That's
All right. So moving on here to the Secured School Safety Grant funding recommendations.
Sure. First off, I'd like to thank everybody that was involved in that, the grants. They do a wonderful job every year of working through this process and actually reviewing all the applications and all those kinds of things and coming up with a recommendation. So to Kim and her staff, that's awesome. And to Chrissy with the legal staff, and their assistance is always appreciated so everybody's efforts are appreciated. So because this is obviously one of the main functions and the important function. So to kind of run you through a little bit, this year we had 499 applications, which last year I think we had a little over 500. So we're right around the same number. There were 608 projects that were actually submitted for a little over 33 million. As you know, we only have about 27 million to fund. So sometimes math is hard, but it's not hard to know that 33 million is bigger than 27 million. So as we went through and looking at things that were eligible, and there were 4 applications that were denied due to the fact that they asked for things that were just not eligible items on the grant. So that was a small amount of about $147,000 that were submitted that were denied from that perspective. So when all the numbers flushed out, basically what we will be recommending, and I'll run through the actual numbers, but what we will be recommending is that all the eligible priority 1 submissions that we received, we would recommend that they be funded at 86%. Last year, I think we funded it about 92.5%. The previous year to that, we had to recommend it about 81%. So we're about in the middle here as far as that goes. So again, that would be the priority 1 eligible items is what we're looking at here. So there were 494 priority 1 items submitted, and there were 5 firearms training. And with the firearms training, those are given a priority because due to the rules of the way it was established for that firearms training a few years ago. I can't remember exactly what year that happened, but so that's where we are. So the total of these is going to be $26,934,220.86. As you were given the handout previously, and it's also in your packet, just to run down quickly, for the SROs, which is historically always what the vast majority of these funds go to. This year, there were 332 priority one eligible requests for SROs, and that at a level of $19,951,039.07. So that was this year about 74% of the funds were dedicated to the SROs. Site vulnerability assessments, we had no request this year. Equipment, technology, and hardware materials, 118 approved at $5,206,312.81. That's at about the 19% of the funds. And again, for the most part, these were like camera systems or entry systems of background checks, those kind of things as far as visitor management were mostly what those fell under. From a training expense standpoint, there were no requests this time. As I previously said, there were 5 firearms training for teachers or staff that was requested at a level of $21,597.57. Then student parent support services plans, which most of these funds go towards counselors and personnel, eligible personnel salaries under that. That was at $1,211,608.10, which is about 4%. The active event warning systems, if you recall, those are the ones where if a school is willing to work with the sheriff's department and they go through the process and they work with an eligible vendor, then that would be a non-match grant that they would receive, but we had no request for active event warning system. Now, that doesn't mean there weren't some warning systems that were requested. They just either did not want to work with the sheriff's department or they just didn't feel like they needed to, so they could still be funded, but then they would have to match that requirement. They didn't go through that system. Bullying prevention, we did have one, priority one at $2,150. Design and construction, there were 11 at about $541,515.31. Most of those were for like vestibule redesign and that kind of stuff from an entry standpoint. And then the post-shooting school counseling service, we had 0. So out of those, as said earlier, those requests total $26,934,220.86. And that is all the eligible priority ones that were submitted at an 86% level. And that is what we are asking you as a board to approve as far as the funding recommendations from the Secure School Safety Fund grant this year.
So is there a motion to approve the grant funding recommendations?
I'll make the motion. And thank you to the committees for what they do. I'll second it.
Second, any discussion?
Real quick, can you give an example of some of the denials? What the examples were, because I know denials don't always deal.
One was, I know for sure there was at least one that was, they were requesting sidewalks to be replaced. That's not, I mean, so that would be one. Another one is the school is attached to a church situation and they were actually asking for a keyless entry system for the church, not for the actual school. So those.
Perfect. I just think it's important to have that on the record.
Sure.
Because denials
Yeah, no problem.
can be an issue.
Vehicles usually find their way in.
Yes, sometimes, I don't know if we did this year, sometimes we'll have weapons,
Yeah.
those kind of things that.
Very good. Thank you.
I did fail to mention, it's not part of the necessary motion anyway, but there were 20 first-time applicants this year as well.
All right, any other discussion? All right, that'll bring us to another vote.
Julie Smith,
I vote yes, I approve. However, I will abstain from voting for the MSD of Decatur Township.
Eric Boland,
Yes, and I will abstain for this year ordinance.
George Hoffman,
Aye.
Doug Benziger, Brooke Pennington,
Aye.
Matt Bilkey,
Yes.
Ben Hunter,
Yes.
Andy Snyder.
Aye.
Jason Chuckwell,
I vote aye, however, abstain for anything with Millsville School Corporate.
and Jason Fisher.
Aye.
Thanks.
All right, good. Thank you again for your work on this. I know, I get to see it firsthand last year when I was here, just got here, didn't see all the work that goes on behind the scenes, but Ada and Christy and you guys, I just thank you very much for the work that you've done to make this happen. So update on the SRO survey and county school safety commission reports.
As you are aware that there are the surveys and the reports that are requested. The SRO survey, if you remember at the last meeting, we voted that if a school system did not participate in the SRO survey this year, then they would not be grant eligible next year. It did not affect this year's grant cycle, but it could affect next year's. Those are due September 1st. As of this morning, with that, we had 369 schools, corporations that had submitted, which is a little above what our average is. So I think the process of you voting to require this as part of the funding is probably helping that to get a better or closer number. And at this time, out of those, we have 1,069.5 SROs that they have said that they have on there, which is also a higher number than before. So, but it'll be due September 1st. So this is the last week. And then that'll become part of the governor's report that we have to submit, you have to submit as a board by November. The other is the county school safety commission. For each county has a commission, and they have to submit an annual review and then some minutes and agenda items and that kind of thing that affects school safety. And as of this morning, we had 68 of the counties of the 92 counties that had reported, which is not bad. We will be sending out another notice probably tomorrow relative to the county commissions. We probably will not send out another one on the SRO. We already sent 3 notices for the SRO survey, so we think that should be sufficient for that. So we're on track on those. And then, as I said, we take what comes out of the commission, what comes out of the SRO survey, what comes out of the Office of School Safety, also kind of included in that governor's report. That is your report that is due to the governor by November 1st. So we will meet again sometime about mid-October to show you this is the draft of the report for this year. That way, if you have changes or additions or subtractions or whatever the case is, that would give us some time to make those changes before we actually submit the report on your behalf. So just kind of expect to hear from me again. I know I probably bother you too much, but that's, I'll try to remind you when I can. It'll be sometime mid-October. I do not have a date as of yet. So that'll probably be another meeting that will be coming up.
Right, so as we conclude today, I know that's very fast, but as we conclude today, we want to recognize someone that's been really important to this board over the years. Eric Boland has been with this board for 13 years since its inception. Just the wisdom that you've imparted to this group and just, and, you know, I've only got to be a part of it for the last year, but since being here, I just know how well respected you are. And just the work and the time and the travel and the efforts that you put into this are very appreciated. He's retiring at the end of this year, right? So I wanted to give you something on behalf of IDHS.
Come on up, Eric.
Do it. On behalf of IDHS, I want to thank you
you.
very much.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
We will miss your wisdom. Eric, let's do it twice. Eric has been very instrumental. He's helped some of the newer members. A lot of you are the newer members who kind of leaned on Eric as that transition was taking place because he has a lot of historical background. He has been a big leader.
Bless you very much. Thank you very much, Amon.
Unless, anyone have something, anything to go to the order?
Julie, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, everybody, for the new members. My name is Christy Shute, and I am the staff attorney that supports this commission. I just want to remind everybody to take your ethics training by September 14th. And if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to Rusty or myself. That's it. Thank you.
And so far, free of the buy.
Anyone else? All right, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
All right. Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Yeah.
We need to, under roll call. I trust that we're going to be good with that. It's 1:45 p.m. All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.